Hello, everybody, and welcome to Behind the Plays, where Davion messed up everything, and we forgot to tell you our picks in this, as we got really lost in the conversations we were having. But those are the best kind of podcast episodes. Am I right, guys? But anyway, I wanted to quickly pull up our picks and give you guys me and Eric's picks very quickly prior to the episode actually starting. So first and foremost, my bad, our bad. Eric messaged me. Glad he did. But this is currently what our picks look like for week 14. Week 14 will consist of my picks being the Vikings beating the Steelers, the Cowboys beating Washington, Bengals beating the Niners, Titans beating the Jaguars, Seahawks beating the Texans, Chiefs beating the Raiders, Saints beating the Saints beating the Jets, Falcons beating the Panthers, Ravens beating the Browns, Chargers beating the Giants, Broncos beating the Lions, Buccaneers beating the Bills, and the Packers beating the Bears on Sunday Night Football, Rams going into Arizona and beating the Cardinals on Monday Night Football, which is going to be one heck of a game. The Colts, Dolphins, Eagles, and Patriots are on bye week. And for Eric's picks on week 14, he has the Vikings beating the Steelers, the Cowboys beating the football team, the Niners beating the Bengals. There's a difference. The Titans beating the Jags, Seahawks beating the Texans, Chiefs beating the Raiders, Saints beating Jets, Panthers beating the Falcons, Browns beating the Ravens, Chargers beating the Giants, Broncos beating the Lions, Bucks beating Bills, Packers beating Bears, and Cardinals beating Rams. So our only differences are he has the Niners beating the Bengals, where I have the Bengals beating the Niners. The Niners, Bengals, I have Bengals. He has Niners. Panthers, Falcons. He willingly can't pick the Falcons, so he has the Panthers. I have the Falcons. Ravens, Browns. I have Ravens. He has Browns. And then Cardinals, Rams. I have the Rams. He has the Cardinals. So we have a couple differences. Eric is only down 5 games in the season series now. Sorry about the lights. My lights don't normally look like this whenever, but we got a nice, beautiful Christmas tree up, so you guys can admire that. And I hope you guys have a very, very, very happy week, and you guys enjoy it. I will catch you guys next time. And also, if you're seeing this today, I will be streaming live over on twitch.tv/Davion_W, and link is down in the description below. No clue what I'm playing or what I'll be doing, but I'll be streaming, so I hope you guys enjoy it. With that, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. For the overall records for the end of by the end of week 13, I am at 112-82, and Eric is at 106-88. He's only down 6 games. He has beaten me the last 2 weeks. Week 13 consists of a tie at 9-5. Hope you guys have a great one. See you next week. Peace. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Behind the Plays. I am your host, Davion, and with me today is my gracious co-host, Eric.
Hello.
How's Eric doing today?
I'm hanging in there, that's for sure. Oh yeah, gosh, it's a stressful week for myself and the people in my life. The next couple weeks, because of many reasons I won't say for privacy reasons, but yes,
that's
you know.
I do know. So,
but we are surviving.
So
you want to know what's keeping me in it? Football. You know what's pushing the limits of my own sanity? The Broncos.
Yeah. Yes. And yes, you know what, though? We can celebrate this week. Do you want to know why?
Why is that?
The Lions won a football game!
The Lions did do that. Okay, I agree. We can
even crazier, they won on a walk-off touchdown.
I know, Jared Goff.
Of all things. And they beat the Vikings in the process, which is great for the Eagles.
That's a fairly impressive win for them.
That's great for the Eagles, too.
Yeah.
So, you guys do know, just a little bit of housekeeping. We missed last week, right? Eric got busy. Crystal had COVID. Crystal tested double negative, by the way, so she's okay now, as of officially today, technically. But Sunday she got a negative quick, and then Tuesday she got we took the blood or whatever, the one that's more official that takes 24 to 40 hours, and she tested negative again.
Gotcha.
So we're all good. We're all good over here in the household of OWs, and so that's nice. So that's what happened. I was in we had a COVID scare last week, which is why we didn't record, and Eric had a elongated meeting, which was a rough day to try to record on that Wednesday.
Yeah, we picked a bad day.
It was just unlucky.
Yeah.
We couldn't do anything about it. So we opted to you saw the video of me and a goat next to me talking about what we picked. You were there. Do you not remember?
Oh, I remember. It was my alter ego.
Exactly. It was your
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, except my Mr. Hyde is a goat.
It sounds about right, right? But yeah, so that's what happened. So this week, we're going to actually take time to evaluate, not each individual team, obviously, because there's teams that suck, and we're not going to go any more detailed than
Nobody
that.
cares about the Jets anymore.
Right. Thankfully. It was, and we're going to talk about playoffs. We actually pulled up ESPN's playoff machine, which I highly recommend you guys all play with. That thing is fun as all get out to just mess around with.
Yes, this is very interesting.
Secondly, we did pick top 3 adjacent for every category in the football awards at the end of the year. So we'll talk about those. We don't really have any more, like, at this point. I'm not going to think playoff predictions. We'll cross our bridge when we get there. I think we've talked so much about everything. Everything in the NFL is crazy right now, and it's so weird. Like the NFC, even the top 3 seeds. I think they're all making the playoffs, but we don't know where. Who's getting the bye at this point? It's so top heavy. And in the AFC, who the hell's getting into the playoffs? Like,
I know.
It's crazy out there.
I think all the teams in the playoffs right now for the AFC could lose a spot.
Yeah.
Because the only team that's mathematically eliminated right now is Houston, I believe.
Yes. Which, fun fact, Jacksonville is lower than them in the standings, but still have a chance to make the playoffs. Did you want to hear the story of how Jacksonville can make the playoffs?
Hit me with it. I'm actually very curious.
Okay.
I'm assuming starting with Jacksonville winning out.
Yes, which is impossible. They're not doing this. They have to beat Tennessee, New England, and Indianapolis in that span. I think they can beat Houston and New York and the Jets, but they have to play Tennessee, New England, and Indianapolis. So they have to win all those games. That would leave them at 7-10, correct? In Week 14, 5 games have to go their way. The Vikings need to beat the Steelers. The Ravens have to beat the Browns. The Lions have to beat the Broncos. The Giants have to beat the Chargers, and the Buccaneers need to beat the Bills, okay? In Week 15, it's a lot. The Jets need to beat the Chargers. The Chiefs need to beat the Chargers. The Raiders need to beat the Browns. The Patriots need to beat the Colts. The Panthers need to beat the Bills. The Jets beat the Dolphins. The Titans beat the Steelers. And then the Bengals beat the Broncos. Then in Week 16, the Packers beat the Browns. The Cardinals beat the Colts. The Patriots beat the Bills. The Chiefs beat the Steelers. The Raiders beat the Broncos. And the Texans beat the Chargers. Sorry, so a lot of Bronco L's because, the Broncos have to lose for them.
If the Jaguars want to make it, they have to be better than a bunch of those cusp teams like the Broncos.
Exactly. The Falcons in Week 17, the Falcons need to beat the Bills. The Raiders need to beat the Colts. The Titans need to beat the Dolphins. The Broncos actually beat the Chargers in this scenario, and the Browns beat the Steelers. And in the Week 18 last stand, the Ravens beat the Steelers. The Jets beat the Bills. The Bengals beat the Browns. The Patriots beat the Dolphins. Chiefs beat the Broncos, and the Raiders beat the Chargers. And that would leave us in a world where the Bills finish 7-10, the Colts finish 7-10, the Chargers finish 7-10, the Broncos finish 7-10, the Browns finish 7-10, the Steelers would finish 6-10-1. The Dolphins, it doesn't really matter if they finish 6-11 or 7-10, but that means that all of those tiebreakers, Jacksonville would get the playoff spot at 7 with a 7-10 record.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yes. There's a chance. A small chance, but there is one. The Lions are still technically not mathematically eliminated. They need like 3 ties or some shit, but they're not out.
Yeah, the moment you tie, you're emotionally out.
Yeah, unless you're the Steelers in this scenario.
Because the Steelers are emotionally out.
Yeah, they need to not make the playoffs. I really don't want.
Yeah, you want my bold prediction for the rest of the year? The Steelers don't win another game.
Oh, I don't know if I have them losing every game, but I have them not making the playoffs. I think I have them beating the Vikings in Week 14 or something like that. I have them giving themselves hope and then losing. But
I can see that, yeah.
More news. Speaking of that, I'm just going through news stuff because that's what we do. It's a football sports podcast, sports world. We should talk about things. The Steelers had an announcement this week. It seemed like
wasn't an official announcement.
It wasn't official, but it seems like this is Ben Roethlisberger's last season, which we kind of felt like going into the season. That's what it was, right? But the thing I want to talk about is where do they go from here? Like, is Dwayne Haskins that guy? He seems like he's played decently in his absence.
Has he?
He didn't play terrible.
Mason Rudolph was playing.
No, didn't Haskins play?
No, Mason Rudolph.
No, you're right.
Played.
It was Rudolph. Okay, well then they need to play Dwayne Haskins because Haskins isn't half bad.
Yeah,
I mean, it's weird.
There are lots of teams who have a succession plan in place. The Green Bay has a succession plan in place. It's Jordan Love.
Jordan Love's right there.
San Francisco has a succession plan in place that's probably happening next year.
Yeah, Trey Lance is right there.
Yeah.
Shoot, Steelers can go out and get Jimmy G and be fine.
That's what I'm thinking is that the Steelers could go out and get Jimmy G. You know who the Steelers could also go out and get realistically, I think?
Who?
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, shoot. I didn't even think of that. This is last year.
Because there's no way A-Rod is going back to Green Bay.
No, he's done. But unless they, for some god-awful reason, win the Super Bowl this year.
I think even if.
But even then, I think he's gone.
I think even if he's out.
Yeah, I think he's mentally gone already. So we'll see. But we did get not an official announcement, but that's kind of what's going on over there in Pittsburgh. But yeah, that's all the stuff I have to talk about announcement-wise. Mm-hmm. Was there any other crazy announcements that I missed?
There was one. Somebody's out for the rest of the year. Marlon Humphrey is for the Ravens, so that's another devastating loss for Baltimore, who was already riddled with injuries.
Yeah, they are struggling.
Yes, dude. Marlon Humphrey's done for the year. He tore his pectoral, I believe.
Something like that. Yeah, he tore something in his upper chest, shoulder area.
And I feel like there was somebody else, like a notable injury. Somebody's done for the rest of the year.
I don't know. I do know that the Titans are getting Derrick Henry back. Technically, Derrick Henry's activation window is this week.
Mm-hmm.
His first week that the first week that he's projected to come back is this week. Based off of how they're playing, he's just going to play in playoffs, keep his legs fresh, keep him churning. I think they may play him like week 17 or 18, or try to, just to like get his feet back under him, and then just week playoff start, because there's a chance that the Tennessee gets the 1 seed.
There's a very good chance that Tennessee could get a 1 seed.
Very good chance, because they're playing very well. They're playing very good football.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really close up there in the AFC. So they're all right there. Like all those teams are right there. Like it's crazy to me. But yeah, I don't know what other notable injury happened this week, but I do know that Derrick Henry is potentially coming back from injury. Jalen Hurts didn't play this week, but he's fine. Nothing crazy there. Can't think of anything else.
I can't either. I feel like there was somebody. Oh, you know who I'm thinking of? It's because he's on my fantasy team. Is Logan Thomas, the tight end for Washington, who's been out for a long time and came back this week and then got hurt again and is officially done for the year now.
That's tough. It's kind of a blow for Washington, but I'm not complaining. I don't like seeing people get hurt, but like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it either, but it is a reality of the game that we play or that people.
Yeah. So it is what it is.
It do be what it do be.
All right, so let's talk. I think before we talk playoffs, I really truly want to talk about the awards, because I think this is going to be the most fun awards, because I feel like there's like 2 or 3 awards where it feels like a toss-up.
There's a lot.
Yeah, it really truly feels like a toss-up between a couple different players. But we're going to kick things off with, I think, some of the basic ones that we think I for sure have as, like, if there's no shot that they don't win this award, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to start over in Defensive Rookie of the Year, because I think this is very decisive. No shot this doesn't happen. Micah Parsons.
Yeah, the only one I could argue is Pat Surtain, and we've been saying that for a while now.
And he's number 2 on my list. I don't have a third because I couldn't think of another defensive player that's a rookie right now. That's how sad it is.
Yeah, I can't think of any other notable ones.
Because Micah Parsons, I think it's Micah Parsons. Surtain is like below him. It's not like a tremendous amount. But Surtain's playing very well, and I don't know who else is. I don't even know defensive rookies after that.
It certainly helps that Micah Parsons is playing on a team that is in a very good position to make playoffs right now at 8-4.
And they're in a very good position because of
Denver,
him.
Who's 6-6.
Even that though, they're in a very good position because of him. They needed defense this season, and they got it, and they did great. So good for him.
I'm having a hard time believing it won't be Micah Parsons defensively.
Yeah. This one's kind of decisive too, but it really can depend on the last few weeks. Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, it can still be a toss up.
Right. There's a chance, but I don't think it's likely at this point. I'm obviously giving it to Mac Jones.
I'm gonna go with Mac Jones as well.
With Jamar Chase as a very close second because of how he
started off very hot.
Yeah, I'm looking at it like percentages, right? Because at the beginning of the year, it was for sure Jamar Chase. Like first 8 weeks, it felt like it was all Chase, because the Patriots weren't even doing that well, and Mac Jones threw like 4 picks in a game or something crazy like that.
Mm-hmm.
Was that Wilson? I don't know. Either way, it was crazy.
Did you see?
Then Mac Jones popped off.
Did you see Mac Jones' stat line last week against Buffalo?
He threw 3 times.
He was 2 for 3 for like 19 yards, I think.
Yeah, they ran the ball like a lot because
the
wind was like
25
times. To
times.
35 miles per hour.
Yes, it was a very windy.
It was crazy.
Day. It was like
that's you want to know my honest opinion with that game? If the wind's not there, I think that the Ravens I think the Bills still win that football game. I think the Bills would win that.
Potentially,
game.
I mean, The Bills' strength right now is their passing attack. Yeah,
they're a throw first team.
They're absolutely a throw first team because that's Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Emmanuel Sanders, Cole Beasley. Like that's a throw first.
That team's crazy. That team's crazy. They have a really good tight end too. I can't something Knox.
Dawson Knox, yes.
That guy, he's solid, dude. He is solid. But that kind of screwed them, and like just consistently running over and over again, you're wasting a lot of clock. It's not the same type of game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but Bill Belichick coached his butt off, and they earned that win. But yeah, Mac Jones, Jamar Chase. I have Devontae Smith there as my third. I think he's the only other person I can think of that's been playing halfway decent. Maybe Jalen Waddle too. He's been playing pretty good. But like the quarterbacks aren't that great. Like Trevor Lawrence isn't doing that well. Unless this Jacksonville event happens. Yeah,
Justin Fields has been hurt. Trey Lance hasn't been playing.
Exactly. Right. It's those scenarios where it's like, and I'm not even. It's like to me, it's like Mac Jones, Jamar Chase, and then like down below, then Devontae Smith. You know what I mean? Like they're those two are kind of playing elite. Devontae Smith's like having his seat. He's decent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. This one, comeback play of the year. I have Dak, and Joe Burrow on my list.
Yeah, it's Dak Prescott. It ain't close.
Yeah. Joe Burrow is the only reason he's on there is because how the Bengals are playing right now. He is a very strong reason why the Bengals are doing what they're doing. Just facts. And he rough injury last year.
Yeah.
Coach of the year. This one's close. I think this one's tough.
I think there's a few
I actually have 4 down.
There's
I have
a few
4
candidates, yes.
I put 4 down for this one. That was the reason I had to put it.
I'm thinking of 3.
I have 4 down.
Who your 4 are.
It's Cliff Kingsbury.
Okay.
No question about it, in my opinion. I think he's the number 1 team in the league. Best record. Won games even with DeAndre Hopkins and freaking Kyler Murray out. That's crazy in itself.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I think he wins it if they keep doing what they're doing, right? A close second, in my opinion, would be Bill Belichick here. He took Mac Jones after a rough season last year, and he's number 1 in his conference.
Mm-hmm.
Beat the Bills. Like, they're doing great. Number 3, this actually might be a surprise. Mike McCarthy. Cowboys.
The Cowboys?
Coach.
Okay.
Yeah. And my 4th one, I have Vrabel. Mike Vrabel, Tennessee's coach. Because how competitive they're staying without their best player.
Yeah.
Best players at that. Shows a lot for that locker room and how that locker room is being led. And granted, it's being led by the players as well, but it starts with the leadership at Mike Vrabel, and I think he's doing a great job. I think he's a dark horse candidate if they can snag maybe the first round bye from the Patriots. It could be Mike Vrabel.
Potentially, yeah. Everybody you just said is definitely a candidate for me, but there's one more person I think we should really heavily consider, and that is Matt LaFleur.
That is the Packers coach.
The Packers
yes?
coach, yes.
I agree with that as well. I'm okay. Yeah, that makes perfect sense too.
Right now, my number 1, honestly, is probably Belichick. Number 2, honestly, is Matt LaFleur.
Oh, I have Kingsbury as the number 1.
See, I feel like Arizona's going to lose like one crucial game, and they're going to end up being like the 3 seed.
Yeah, but there'll be a 3 seed that's 14-3.
Yeah, they're going to be a very competitive. So
either way,
seed,
that's amazing.
Worry. But don't let the fact that the Cardinals are this successful distract you from the fact that Cliff Kingsbury has made the single worst coaching decision I've seen in the last like 5 or 6 years. When they played Jacksonville and he tried to kick that 66-yard field goal and then Jacksonville returned it for a kick 6. Do not let the fact that the Cardinals are this good distract you from the fact that that's the single worst coaching decision in the last 5-6 years. Easy.
They won that game though.
They won that game, sure, but don't even let that victory distract you from the fact that that is the single worst coaching decision in the last 5 years.
Who kicked the kick?
It was Matt Prater, who has the record for the longest field goal prior to Justin Tucker breaking that same week. By the way, it was that same week.
That was the same week.
But he did it in Jacksonville, Florida. Okay, Matt Prater has prior to Justin Tucker doing this, because Justin Tucker has a leg made of iron. Matt Prater did have the record because he said it when he was kicking in Denver.
65, wasn't it?
It was a 65-yard field goal. Yes.
Yeah.
Matt Prater did that in Denver, Colorado.
Yeah, Matt LaFleur, I can see he's up there.
I'm not done with you, Cliff. Cliff Kingsbury made that decision to kick a 66-yard field goal in Jacksonville, Florida. Okay, this pissed me off so much, I did my research. Do you know how high above sea level Jacksonville, Florida is?
Not high.
12 feet. It's 12 feet above sea level.
That was the first number that came to head. I don't know why I didn't say it.
It's 12 feet above sea level. Probably because I've said it like 4 times now.
Probably at this point.
It's 12 feet above sea level. That's the single worst coaching decision I've ever seen. And for that reason, I think he's probably like 3rd or 4th on my list of coach of the year. He's for sure a candidate.
Reason, you're out.
But
for that reason,
for that reason, I'm out. No, that's the single worst coaching decision I've seen in a long time.
That's great. Defensive player of the year.
Now, this is a tough one. There has been a lot.
There are a lot of crazy people.
Of good defensive players.
I brought it to 3 though.
Okay, give me your.
I'm gonna go 3-1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3. I promise you, I tried as hard not to be. Darius Slay. Have you seen his stat lines this season?
Yes, it's very impressive.
I think he's a candidate. I think he's gonna finish like top 5. If he doesn't make the top 3, he's gonna be like 4th or 5th because he's playing really well. He's a big reason why we went on that winning streak to get to this position. He's a big reason, and not only that, things that don't pop up all the time are his presence, obviously, because that Nelson's hurt, so it's just crazy stuff. He's playing really well. Matt Judon on the Patriots.
Yes,
I think that's my 2. And my 1 is Trevon Diggs on the Cowboys.
I don't know. It feels like that was there's a little bit of a recency bias with Trevon Diggs.
Yeah, but do you know how many interceptions he has?
It's a lot, I know, but
it's an insane. He was intercepting he was averaging like an interception a game, like 1.5 or something crazy for a long span of time. Like he's playing really well. But I will say, I know that there are people that are also playing like crazy football too. Like Myles Garrett's playing really well. But I don't think they make the playoffs, so I feel like that plays a factor into
exactly.
making
I think that's what's skewing my decision, because honestly, I feel like it's Myles Garrett.
Yeah, no. Myles Garrett's crazy.
I think the fact that the Browns are a little bit disappointing this year is what's skewing my decision away from my personal opinion for Defensive Player of the Year as of right now is Matt Judon.
Really? Okay, he's my 2. So
yes.
That's fine. That makes sense.
And I think that's with recency bias for sure, because the Patriots are on a 7-game win streak now.
Something like that, and he's also a big reason why.
Yes,
he's getting a lot of pressure to the quarterback.
Yes, this is the Bill Belichick defense, and the Bill Belichick is a wizard.
Absolutely.
Everybody's in the perfect spot because it's Bill fucking Belichick, and I can't believe it's about to happen to us again.
I can't believe the Patriots.
I can't believe it's about to happen to us again.
They were gone for a year, dude. They were gone for a year.
We only had one year of Patriot-less football. And now they're back. They're probably going to be the best team in the NFL for like another 15 years.
See, the problem is that they don't have they're young though. They are young.
That's the problem.
They're young.
Can you imagine if everybody was just like, Mac Jones is like a young Tom Brady? Can you imagine if 5 years from now we're saying he's like an old Tom Brady? I'm going to be losing my mind.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts.
It's going to be like those Among Us memes. Have you seen those?
Yes.
It's like anybody just sees anything that looks remotely like a crewmate, and everybody's just like, I'm losing my mind. Yeah, that's going to be me when I hear the name Michael McCarkle-Jones.
Yeah, Mac is popping off, dude.
He is, and it makes me mad.
Yeah. Okay, so Matt Judon's your 1.
He is my 1.
What you got after that?
Probably Myles Garrett. And the thing that's stopping me is the fact that the Browns are not in a great position to make playoffs. They're still in a position, but they need a little bit of help. Then I would say probably Trevon Diggs. Okay. I think some dark horse candidates right now, Aaron Donald, just because it's Aaron Donald.
It's Aaron Donald. He's playing Aaron Donald.
And I think TJ Watt, too. But
that is actually a big dark horse, but again, same reason with why I don't have Myles Garrett on my list.
Exactly. It's because the Steelers are bad.
Right. Yeah, I just want Darius Slay to have his credit. Dude's playing out of his mind.
Yeah, he for sure gives the credit, and I think he's much more in the conversation if the Eagles draw closer and closer to the playoff picture. Because right now they're on the outside looking in. If they were on the inside looking out, I think it's a little bit more
different story.
Realistic. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is we're on our bye week, right? If Washington and the Niners lose this week, we have a playoff spot. So it's like, that's the crazy part. Or I guess it doesn't have to be both of them. I think just Washington has to lose, and we have a playoff spot or something like that.
Yeah.
Or they have it because of, I think it's the Cowboys, so it's a division loss, but we already have 2 division L's. It's weird. It's awkward. It's weird. There's a lot of wild playoff scenarios that have to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, it's right there. We're right there. You know what I mean? I'm not tripping. We're half a game behind. The only issue is that the Niners, the only way we pass the Niners is if we have a better record than them.
Because they have the tiebreaker.
Because the Niners have the tiebreaker over us.
Yeah, they have the head-to-head.
And the Vikings are, we even played each other, so it comes down to similar games, which we beat the Lions and they didn't, so it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Tough for the Vikings. That's a big win for the Lions. Huge for like the rest of the NFC though. That bottom, that's huge. So yeah, Depoy, offensive player of the year. Kick this one off for me.
There's no question in my mind. And the only reason why is because we know that a quarterback's going to win the MVP.
Okay.
The offensive player of the year.
Typically this position.
The offensive player of the year.
Typically it's a wide receiver, right? Halfback. So
it's Jonathan Taylor.
Oh shit!
It isn't close.
I didn't even think of him. Oh crap! You're right. It's actually it's straight. Forget this.
I know we were having this conversation before the playoffs started, and you're like, "God, I'm having such a hard time picking offensive player of the year." I'm like, "Really? I got a top 1, and I'm not going to bother with the top 2."
Dude, I put Cooper Kupp on my list.
No, it's Jonathan Taylor.
It's Jonathan Taylor.
It's Jonathan Taylor.
It's Jonathan Taylor. It's Jonathan Taylor. I think if Jonathan Taylor didn't have the crazy weeks he had, maybe Cooper Kupp, because Cooper Kupp is having a great year. By the way.
Yeah, sure.
But no, it's
honestly, I think another candidate is potentially Leonard Fournette.
Him too. He's
popping
punching.
off for Tampa.
He's having a good year.
Yes, but it's Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor.
Okay, next question.
Wow.
That's easy.
I can't believe I didn't. Why didn't he come? I don't know.
I know. I know. I'm sitting here just like, what are you talking about? There's no way it's not Jonathan Taylor.
Dude, Colts are not on my mind anymore. They've started winning games and I forgot they existed. MVP.
This is hard. This is a hard one because the last 3 years it felt pretty easy.
Yeah, there's 6 candidates.
It felt pretty easy A-Rod last year. It felt pretty easy Lamar the year before. It felt pretty easy Mahomes the year before.
Right.
And then the year before, I think that was Brady, I guess. I think is what we decided on. The year
something like that.
Yeah, because it was the year that was when the Eagles beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Brady won MVP.
Was that year?
Because it was supposed to be Wentz, and we're just like, all right, Brady, I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Because Wentz was supposed to win.
Yeah.
And then Wentz tore his knees.
Yeah. So this is tough.
I want to say Kyler Murray, hands down, should win this award.
I know,
but he was injured, and that's what sucks.
He got hurt.
With those few games out, it kind of hurts him.
He got hurt, and his coach is Cliff Kingsbury, and you know how I feel about that.
Of course, but Kyler Murray doesn't make kicking decisions.
Yeah, I know, but it's the bias.
It's the Kingsbury adjacent. I get it.
Yeah, the Kingsbury be like.
But that's, you know what I mean? It should be. And then I was like, okay, maybe Tom Brady, right? Because they're quietly putting together a good year, but it's not all him. It's usually it's Tom Brady's elite, and he at the beginning of the year it felt like it was good for Tom Brady, but it's doesn't feel like that anymore.
Yeah, for a long time it felt like it could have been Lamar Jackson, and he's really fallen off.
He extremely fallen off. He threw 4 picks one game.
For a long time it felt like it could have been Josh Allen, and he's kind of fallen off.
That whole team fell off. Yeah.
So, I think I have my candidate, and I don't know how much of a stretch this will be.
Okay.
I think it's Aaron Rodgers again.
You have Aaron Rodgers? Okay.
I think it's Aaron Rodgers again. I think a very close 2 right now is Tom Brady.
You want me to give you what my list is right now?
Aaron
Rodgers is 4th on my list. If it makes you feel.
I think he's my 1 because it's that
would make
close.
Sense. Murray, I have him. I still have him at 1 because I feel like it feels like one of those years where it's I guess right. That's who I think has played some of the best football this year.
Yeah.
Is Kyler Murray. And he continues to show that in the last game. He came back and just popped off, dude. He elite football, okay? Then there's Tom Brady, who I think is still playing really good football. I think actually Rodgers might be above him. And my 3, which is I think this is extremely dark horse. I think I dug way in the bag for this one. Give me Dak.
Yeah, he's a dark horse for sure.
I went in my bag for that one.
He's a dark horse for sure.
I think he's playing really well.
Okay, but here's the thing. They don't give out the MVP award in Week 14. I think
you're right.
When all is said and done, if things work out the way I have them in my scenario that I'm looking at on this ESPN playoff machine right now,
it'll be Aaron Rodgers for me.
I think it's Aaron Rodgers when all is said and done. Right now, it's much closer, but
maybe
I think it'll be
maybe a very quiet person that's like obviously had a rough start, but is putting together himself a really good year. We're talking about Pat Mahomes. Okay, he might sneak his way into that top 3.
Yeah, I think he'll sneak his way into candidacy. I don't know if he sneaks it though, because we
have to see how the Packers play it out though.
Well, here's the thing: we also have this terrible thing called Chiefs bias, because the Chiefs have been the most electric NFL team.
It's like LeBron bias.
Few years,
I get you.
It's LeBron bias, right? If LeBron has a stretch of games where he doesn't look like LeBron, LeBron is washed.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and that's what we talk about.
That's kind of what I feel like there was a little bit of a
6-game win streak or something.
Exactly.
Like that
there was like a stigma with that with the Chiefs because they started the year so poorly, and I don't think
they should have figured it out.
I think he sneaks his way into candidacy. I don't think he sneaks. I think he sneaks his way into candidacy. I think he sneaks his way into a championship round. I think he sneaks his way into a Super Bowl potentially. I don't know if he sneaks into the MVP.
Yeah, no, that's the team. Because to me, the team that's being the most consistent down the stretch has been the Chiefs and the Patriots. They're the teams that are most consistent. I'm talking about in the AFC. I'm sorry.
In the AFC, okay, then yes, it's those
strictly AFC. Maybe even Tennessee here because they've been consistent all year, but it's like weird because of the injuries and stuff.
They've had the injuries. They've lost a couple.
Patriots
recently.
Chiefs.
It's the Patriots.
Very,
and
very
Chiefs are the most consistent recently.
Consistent.
Right?
Yes.
Crazy how that works. You couldn't live with your own failure. And where did that bring us?
Back to me.
Back to KC.
And the Bucs are definitely the most consistent team, and the Cardinals obviously are the most consistent teams over here in the NFC. Cowboys are way too hit and miss.
I agree. Cowboys are way too hit and miss, and then the Green Bay has their highs, and then Green Bay will win like 4 in a row and be really high, and then lose a close one.
Get shut out. You know? Like they got what? They lost 38-3 week 1 to the Saints.
Yeah.
Like they went 9-2 since. Like
yeah. What are their other 2 losses actually? Now that I look back on it,
I couldn't even tell you.
They shut out the Seahawks. They lost in a nail biter to the Vikings. And they lost to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
In a nail biter.
So wait.
So they're 3-2 in the last 5
Let me just
weeks.
get this right. Are the Lions the best team in football? Think about it. Lions beat the Vikings.
Okay, no. We what was this? Parody. That's what it was the word. We've completed the NFL parody. Did you know?
We did.
Because Lions beat the Vikings, and the Vikings beat the somebody, and the somebody beat the somebody, and forever until we get back to the Lions.
Oh,
so everybody's the best team in the NFL if you're going to use the parity rule.
Oh, well, I'm using the Lions.
Here, let me see if I can find it. It was on Twitter, and
because you could probably get that. You could get because everyone's beating the Lions, right? So you could probably get there with the Lions. So you could do it with the Eagles for sure because the Eagles beat the Lions. You could do it with Chicago because Chicago's beat the Lions. Minnesota's also beating the Lions. Yeah. Okay. I can see it. I can vibe with it. But yeah, I mean yeah. I mean playoffs are weird, dude. The MVP race has been weird this season.
There it is. Okay. Let me find this.
I'm ready.
It was on Twitter. I saw it. I can't remember who tweeted it. I guess it would make sense to type in NFL parody, not NPL parody.
Help a little bit.
There it is. Okay. So we'll start with the Lions, but we can technically start anywhere, okay?
Okay.
The Lions beat the Vikings.
Right.
Who beat the Seahawks.
Right.
Who beat the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
Who beat the Dolphins.
Uh-huh.
Who beat the Patriots.
Uh-huh.
Who beat the Chargers.
Okay.
Who beat the Steelers.
Uh-huh.
Who beat the Bears, technically.
Uh-huh.
Who beat the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
Who beat the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Who beat the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Who beat the Broncos.
Uh-huh.
Who beat the Cowboys.
Oh?
Who smacked on the Falcons.
Oh?
Who beat the Jets.
Uh-huh.
Who beat the Titans that one time.
Jets beat the Titans. That's true.
And then the Titans slapped on the Chiefs.
Uh-huh.
Who won against the Browns week 1.
Uh-huh.
Who beat the Texans, as most teams have. But one of the few teams to beat one of the few games the Texans have won is against the Jaguars.
Who
beat the Bills. Who beat Washington. Who beat Tampa. Who beat the New York Football Giants. Who beat the Saints.
Okay.
Who slapped on the Packers week 1.
Right.
Who squeaked out a win against the Niners. Who unfortunately beat the Eagles.
Yes.
But they beat the Panthers.
Yes.
And then the Panthers beat the Cardinals, remember?
Yes.
And then the Cardinals beat the Rams.
Holy shit.
And then in Jared Goff's return to LA, the Rams beat the Lions.
Wow. I love it.
I'm going to send you this tweet.
Is it an image?
Yes.
I'll put the image in the video, guys. How about that? I'll reference the tweet in the description below. I'll link whomever's Twitter it is. You're welcome.
It's Field Yates' tweet. If you know who that is.
It's Field Yates? All right, Field Yates, you the GOAT. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. What a time. But yeah, so that's it for awards and your NFL Circle of Parody.
That is.
So let's get into my favorite segment of today, which is going to be the playoff predictions. This is we decided to take the playoff machine, which is a website. I'll link that down below too. It's on ESPN. So we took the ESPN playoff machine, and we predicted week 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Like, we put in our predictions for those 5 weeks. What we think as of today. That could very well change in a couple weeks because injuries are a thing. Comeback from injuries are a thing. Crazy things can happen in the NFL. Okay? That very well can change. So just because we hear it now doesn't mean it's for sure. Okay? That's not like that. What we say week 1 isn't the same in week 8. Okay? Not how it works. So we're going to talk about that. And we're just going to talk about division winners.
Okay.
Or we'll talk about playoff spots, where they landed, who just squeaked out. And I'm going to I'm going to let you guys know as it stands right this second. Hold on, let me pull it back up. Cuz I'm an idiot. In the AFC, the current playoff picture is Patriots are 1, Titans 2, Ravens 3, Chiefs 4, Chargers 5, Bengals 6, Bills 7. Fun fact, both LA teams are in the 5 slot. On the bubble are the Steelers, Colts, Raiders, Browns.
Everybody but the Texans.
Broncos, Dolphins. I'm not going to say Jets and Jags in that order. I'm going to leave off some teams because I just feel like there's no way the Jets or the Jags somehow make this happen. They need a lot of help.
Yeah.
In the NFC, the Cardinals, Packers, Bucks. I'm just in order. Cowboys 4, Rams 5. That's crazy. Both LA teams are 5. Washington, Niners, and then on the bubble would be the Eagles at 8, Vikings 9, Panthers, Falcons, Saints. That's kind of funny. I'm gonna say Giants because they have winnable games. I'm not gonna say the Bears, Seahawks, and Lions though because they need a lot of help.
Yeah.
Because I know they're only 2 games behind, but they need a lot of help because all of them play each other. Like the Eagles play the Washington football team. The Giants have to play Washington. Cowboys are playing those Giants and Eagles, like all those. I think the Panthers, because the Panthers, Saints, Falcons all have to play each other in that mix, and someone has to win those games unless they all tie. Vikings still have to play a couple teams here in the North, which consists of the Bears. So that's a way that they can come back. The West is really difficult with the Seahawks. It's too complicated and too diluted. They're not out technically, but I feel like they're done, you know?
Yeah.
Their schedule is very difficult. The only team that is technically mathematically eliminated is the Houston Texans, and they were the 15 seed in the AFC. SoFi v SoFi as the 5 seeds is still in SoFi is still alive.
The dream is alive.
Yeah, the dream is still alive, and yeah, that is the current playoff spot. But with all that in knowledge, we're gonna go from bottom. We're gonna actually go top to bottom.
So
okay?
The 1 seed. Okay, do you want to start in AFC and we'll do the NFC after?
Yeah, kick things off in the AFC. My 1 seed and ends the season off as the 1 seed is the 13-4 Tennessee Titans.
Okay. My 1 seed is the 13-4 Kansas City Chiefs.
See, the Titans and my Chiefs are the 2 seed at 13-4
because of the tiebreaker.
But because the Titans beat the Chiefs, they get the tiebreaker at the 1 seed.
Yeah, I have the Titans losing a handful of games because they are Derrick Henry-less. Like, I think, what do I have them going? I have them going 3-2 in these last 5 weeks.
Okay.
So yeah, they lose some seeding, but they're still a playoff team.
Exactly. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I have the 1 seed KC Chiefs at 13-4.
Okay, my Chiefs at 13-4 are 2. So who's your 2 seed then?
New England Patriots at 12-5.
Oh. This is gonna get zesty then, I feel. My 3 seed is actually Baltimore at 11-6.
That's my 4 seed at 10-7.
Okay. My 4 seed at 11-6 is Buffalo.
Okay, and then my 3 seed is Tennessee at 11-6. By the way, I don't think I explicitly said that, but yeah.
Oh, my bad. My fault.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I kind of implied it. I don't think I said it directly, but yeah. So
okay.
my division winners. So we agree for the most part on division winners, except you think Buffalo still wins. I think the Patriots will win the division.
It could go either way because they have to play each other one more time.
Okay. Do you want to do this?
It's in no. Hopefully, no 25-mile-per-hour winds this time.
Yeah. Do you want to do the Squeakers next? The teams that barely don't make it.
Yeah.
Then we'll do
that.
The wild cards.
So Tennessee, Kansas City, Baltimore. We decide those are division winners.
Yeah.
And you pick Patriots. I picked Buffalo.
Yeah.
Okay. So my Squeakers in the AFC would be. Let me look. Hold on. I gotta look at the thing. Indianapolis barely misses it. 9-7. I didn't pick one of their games. What game did I pick? They're only 9-7.
This is gonna matter.
Hold on. It might matter.
Week 14.
It definitely matters. Oh, it matters. They're no longer a squeaker. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Who's your squeaker now?
Cincinnati, 10-7.
Okay.
That is the squeaker. That's the only one that just barely.
That's your only squeaker.
Because Vegas is 8-9, Miami's 8-9. Everybody else makes the playoffs. Pittsburgh's 8-1.
What's Cleveland?
Cleveland went 6-11. I don't have them winning a single game, dude.
They're not going to win one more game.
Who do they play? I have them losing to the Bengals, the Steelers at home. Steelers are home. Browns play the Packers. I have them losing to the Raiders. I'll let them have that one. That makes sense. The Ravens. Yeah, they have a tough end of the year schedule.
Yeah, they do. Okay.
That's 7-10. That's what they get.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
I have 3 squeakers and 2 shoutouts. The 2 shoutouts go to the 8-9 Raiders and Broncos.
Both of them will finish 7-10 for me.
Yeah, I have them both finishing 8-9. Okay, I have 3 squeakers. Okay, the team barely missing the playoffs, and I agree with you. In Miami and Cincinnati, both at 9-8. I have Cleveland at 9-8.
Oh wow!
So that means we have the same 7 playoff teams, unless you, for some reason, decided the Jets are going to make playoffs.
No, I picked the Jacksonville Jaguars to do the whole. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I did not do that.
Yeah, not at all.
Okay, so then that means that our wild card teams, we both have Indy and the Chargers. You'll have the Patriots, and I'll have the Bills.
Exactly. So we have the same 7 playoff teams.
Okay, who is your 7 seed?
The Indianapolis Colts at 10-7.
I have the Buffalo Bills at 10-7.
Wow.
To be fair, all my wild cards are 10-7.
Wait. Hold on real quick before we say this. So, we're not going to have the same matchups. Dang it. Because you have the Chiefs at 1, I don't. Mm-hmm. So, Colts would play the Chiefs in the first round. Your Bills are playing your Patriots in the first round.
Yep.
Ooh. I have the same thing except at 5-4. Patriots go 11-6 and they lose because of tiebreakers. They lose the division because of the tiebreakers.
All my wild cards are 10-7, by the way, in the AFC.
10-7 Colts, 11-6 for the other 2.
Okay. So, I have the 10-7, 7-seeded Bills.
Okay. I have the 10-7 Colts at 6. I have 11-6 as the Chargers.
I have the 10-7 Chargers.
Okay, and then Patriots are 11-6 at my 5.
I have Colts at 10-7.
Cool. So I would have Colts versus Kansas City and Chargers at Baltimore, and then New England at Buffalo.
I would have Buffalo at New England.
Uh-huh.
I would have LA at Tennessee, and Indy at Baltimore.
Yeah, those would be all. I think any of these matchups would be fun as hell.
That's true. I don't think any of these are for sure bets.
No, not a single one. I think Indy could upset Kansas City.
Because hypothetically, you would think the 2 seed would beat the 7 seed. Buffalo could absolutely upset New England.
Absolutely, in your scenario, and I think Indianapolis can go into Kansas City and win because of how good Jonathan Taylor's been playing.
Yeah,
and their defense is playing insane too. So, yeah, the AFC feels like a lot more up in the air.
Yeah.
With who's going to win. I feel like the NFC is not at all that case when it comes to the end. Okay? The last, 2 teams. Those are, I think both of them lose the first round. Unless, Giants mentality comes out from those teams.
You never know.
They pick up Eli Manning last minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
But
let's hop to the NFC.
Yeah. NFC.
Who is ultimately your 1 seed in the NFC?
I mean, Green Bay.
I have the 14-3 Packers as well.
Same. Yeah, 14-3.
I don't think they lose another game.
The rest of the year.
I don't.
Yeah, they just finish it out.
Yep. So yeah, I have 14-3 Green Bay as the 1 seed.
Who's your 2 seed?
The 14-3 Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Same. Exactly identical. Same.
Who's your 3 seed?
They also don't lose a game for the rest. The 14-3 Arizona Cardinals.
The 13-4 Arizona Cardinals.
Okay, understandable. Because of how tiebreakers play out with everything, the Cardinals would lose the 1 seed. They just need to. If they just don't lose a game for the rest of the year, they'll keep the 1 seed. But that's
so you have the Cardinals only winning, or only losing 1 more game. I have them losing 2.
I'll tell you right now what game I have them losing. I have them losing to LA Rams week 14.
I have them losing week 16 to Indy and week 17 to Dallas.
Interesting. I have them smacking Dallas.
Okay,
I don't know
but
why.
I think this is where we're going to differentiate.
I hate Dallas.
This is where we're going to differentiate just a tad. Who's your 4 seed? Because it's your NFC East team.
It's the Dallas Cowboys at 12-5.
It's the Washington Football Team at 10-7.
Oh, so the Eagles just don't make the playoffs in your scenario. Wait,
No.
How? How? Who do they play that you felt that this was necessary?
Washington? I think Washington finishes 4-1.
They play the Cowboys? Oh, I mean, they could beat the Cowboys, yeah.
I have them beating the Cowboys twice. The game
You
that they
beat them
lose...
both times?
I do.
Oh,
I think the Cowboys are vulnerable. You want to know the one game they lose? Philly, week 15.
The Eagles, week 15. Yeah, that's the one game they do lose. The Eagles at home, too.
Mm-hmm.
I have them splitting with the Eagles and losing both games to the Cowboys.
Okay.
That's crazy.
So let's say Dallas wins the Washington matchup. Then it's still the same 7 teams in my playoffs, but now Dallas is the 11-6 4 seed.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes. So,
That's wild.
I think just in a little bit of an upset to keep it spicy, I have the 10-7 Washington Football Team as my 4 seed.
That's crazy. I swear to God, if that happens, I'm going to scream.
Okay.
I'm going to be very upset.
Do you have any squeakers in the NFC?
I mean, technically, because 7-10 is a squeaker in this one.
Really?
Yeah, so the 5, 6. Oh, they didn't add them as a playoff. Whatever. Okay, so you ready for my squeakers?
Who's your squeakers?
Okay, so 7-10 is a squeaker. I'm not counting 6 and 11. 7-10 would be a squeaker. The Seattle Seahawks get to 7-10. They go 3-2 to end the season, but they're too far behind. They can't do it. Washington goes 7-10 because they lose both games to the Cowboys, and I have them dropping 1 to the Eagles. They do win a game, and it's against the Eagles, but that's it for them.
Mm-hmm.
Then they play the 7-10 Minnesota Vikings, end the season 2-3. That loss to the Lions crippled them too much. That's my opinion on the subject. The 8-9 Atlanta Falcons miss it because they lose the tiebreaker out to the San Francisco 49ers. And that means the Niners would be my 7th seed at that point, at 8-9.
Okay. I have less squeakers here. Because my wild cards, my 7th seed is 10-7. My 7th seed is 10-7 in the NFC. So the only 9-8 team I have just missing playoffs is Philly.
That's so depressing.
Yeah.
I swear, if that happens in real life, I'm gonna be mad, but I'm not gonna be as mad because we have 2 really good first-round picks.
Yeah, if you want to give a shout-out to them, you can. I have Minnesota and Atlanta both at 8-9 as well.
Okay, understand.
Barely missing. I have New Orleans at 7-10.
How hard is it for you to put Atlanta at an 8-9 team?
Because on this machine, I'm not cursing myself by saying Atlanta's going to win the games. Because I'm not committing to Atlanta's going to win a football game.
True.
Okay? Like, realistically, Atlanta beats Detroit. Realistically, Atlanta probably beats Carolina this week.
Yeah, them playing at Carolina.
And then I have them also beating, New Orleans week 18. So they would go 3-2 to finish the year, go 8-9 overall.
Right, makes sense.
Yeah. Minnesota, same thing. They actually finish, they have their bye this week, huh?
No.
Why are they currently 5-7? Because that makes 12, Mr. Eric. Duh. Hello. I have them also going 3-2 to finish the year, so they would finish 8-9. Yeah,
okay.
that loss to Detroit is devastating for Minnesota.
Yeah, that hurts them.
Let's say hypothetically, if they had won that game,
they'd be 6-6.
maybe 6-6. Then they go 9-8. Then they're much more of a squeaker team.
They might make the playoffs because they would. I think they would.
For me, they don't.
They can get there. Yeah, for you, they don't. They would make the playoffs over San Fran and technically the Eagles. So the Eagles would end up dropping to 7.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then that means we both have the Rams and Niners in the playoffs. And you're going to have Philly, and I'm going to have
Dallas,
because I have Washington winning.
Technically, you have Washington over Dallas. So we have everyone. So we just have. Remember when everyone said the NFC East sucked? How many NFC North teams you see in the fucking playoffs, you bums?
1.
Anyway.
The NFC East sucked because, here's the thing, okay?
Everyone got decimated last year. Literally everyone died last year.
I know, but right now, look at this. This is exactly what happened last year. Everybody's at approximately the same record except for New York.
Mm-hmm. And New York was almost a playoff team if Washington
New York should have been a playoff team. Philly.
Well, yeah, because, Doug Peterson said fuck this game.
Because cheese ball.
But yeah, that's...
Okay, so then your 7th seed is San Francisco at 7 and 10?
At 8 and 9.
8 and 9, okay.
8 and 9. They're not that bad.
I have the 10 and 7 San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
As my 7th seed.
I think everyone's going to beat up on each other. That's why I have this how it is. Because that's how it's been all season. So why wouldn't that continue? You know what I mean?
Yeah. My 6th seed is the 10 and 7 Dallas Cowboys.
Mine at this point would be the 9 and 8 Philadelphia Eagles. Your 6 and 3 matchup is nutty, by the way.
Dallas
Cowboys
and
versus freaking Arizona. And Dallas can win that. Very, very, very reasonably win that football game.
Yeah, I think out of all my wild cards, the only one I genuinely am just no chance, is Tampa will probably beat San Francisco.
Oh, yeah. Tampa will probably throttle San Francisco.
Yep. Okay, and then my 5 seed is the 11 and 6 LA Rams.
13 and 4 LA Rams.
Okay.
At 5.
And they would play my 4-seeded Washington football team. They would play your 4-seeded Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, which is much, much fun. That's going to be a fun game because it's in Dallas. If that game was in LA, I wouldn't see it as fun. But since it's in Dallas, it's going to be fun.
Okay. So let's wrap up this whole playoff picture. Let's not break down every single game ever and how it will work. Right. Okay, give me your championship matchup for the AFC.
Between all these teams?
For the AFC. Give me your championship matchup for the AFC.
AFC championship, if how I think goes down, I think Kansas City beats Indy. I think Baltimore beats LA if everyone stays healthy. You know what? I'm going to go Chargers over Baltimore because Marlon Humphrey just got decimated. And I'm going to go New England over Buffalo in Buffalo. So that would mean that LA would play Tennessee and New England would play Kansas City. I really want New England, Kansas City in the conference championship, but that's just not possible, I feel like, in this matchup unless Baltimore wins. So in that sense, I think LA loses to Tennessee and I have Kansas City beating New England. So it'll probably be Tennessee versus Kansas City.
I think mine will shake out the same way. It'll end up being Tennessee, KC.
I had to talk myself through it like that because I needed to see the seedings and how I think it's going to actually go down.
Yeah, okay, so for me, I think Buffalo would upset New England in Foxborough. Just because
I have the other way around because it's upsetting. Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
just
like one of those
it's funny.
I think it's going to.
I think Tennessee could beat LA, and then Indy, Baltimore. I think I would take Indy in that matchup, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think Baltimore wins a playoff game.
Yeah, so that means
I hate to say it because they're just declining right now.
For me, that means that KC would play Buffalo. And I think KC beats Buffalo in the divisional round.
Matchup.
And then Tennessee would play Indy, which is also a fun matchup.
A very fun matchup.
I'm going to change my answer.
You want to pick Indy, don't you?
Colts KC is my AFC championship.
Carson Wentz goes to the AFC championship, baby.
Colts KC. I think KC throttles the Colts in the AFC championship. But that is a fun AFC championship.
That is a fun AFC championship. It depends on what Derrick Henry we see if you really want my honesty.
Okay, so yeah.
And how that's going to shake out.
Can you imagine Derrick Henry versus Jonathan Taylor in the playoffs?
Oh, that would be fun. That would be fun.
Okay, so then who wins between KC and Tennessee for you?
I'm going to go Tennessee.
Okay.
I think they've been the better team all year.
That's very realistic.
I think they've been the better team all year. If Derrick Henry's back, he's had a game or two under his belt. He's fine. He has legs under him.
That's what's crazy, okay? But
Mahomes is so good in these situations.
Here's what's nuts about the AFC, okay? All the 7 teams we have making the playoffs, all can make it to the Super Bowl.
Realistically, yes.
I think the only team that may not
is Baltimore and LA.
I think the only team that can't is LA.
I don't think Baltimore can. They're not healthy enough, dude.
Yeah. But here's how I know I made the right decision with my calls, is because my cusp teams, Miami, Cincinnati, Cleveland, those are all like, yeah, they should probably make the playoffs, but none of them are going to go to the Super Bowl.
No Super Bowl teams. Yeah, all of these guys are Super Bowl teams outside of maybe the Chargers.
Yeah.
It solely does depend. How's Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, and Keenan Allen playing that week?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's contrast to the NFC, because of the 7 teams we have making the playoffs, I feel like 3 are ready for the Super Bowl.
I feel like 5. I think 5 can go to the Super Bowl. I think 5 teams can go to the Super Bowl in this conference.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's 1 through 5. I think the Cowboys can rank a Super Bowl run. I've always doubted them, and I keep doubting them, but Mike McCarthy is a Super Bowl
in my scenario, Dallas is 6. I don't think they even get past Arizona in the wild card,
right?
Unfortunately.
And that's the difference in scenarios, right? Because you have Washington in the 4 seed. If Washington falls and they were in the 6 seed instead, we'd have completely different scenarios.
That's true.
Because they're playing LA, where I think LA at home is a very winnable game, as opposed to on the road in Arizona, where Arizona's been playing amazing football all year.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's a tough call, and we're gonna see. I mean, we're gonna see that. We're gonna see that week 17. They get to play. Arizona's versus Cowboys. They're playing week 17, so that's a good matchup that we're gonna see.
Looking at my wildcard games, I think Tampa would beat San Francisco. I think Arizona would beat Dallas. I think LA would beat Washington. That's pretty easy.
I agree.
So that means we would have a Green Bay LA divisional rematch.
Oh my gosh,
and Tampa would play Arizona.
Tampa versus Arizona. Oh my lord.
So I think the boring answer is though I think Green Bay and Tampa win those, and it's the 1-2 seed again in the NFC Championship. Or no, I guess Tampa was a 5 seed last year, huh?
No, yeah, Tampa was the 5 seed.
But it's a rematch of the NFC Championship, which I think is fairly realistic.
Yeah, I think it's very realistic.
Yeah, I had LA Tampa, I believe, in my preseason matchup.
Yeah, makes sense. I had Green Bay versus Tampa, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then who goes to your NFC Championship?
Tampa beats San Fran. Mm-hmm. Arizona beats the Eagles, but I mean, I'm not mad. Eagles get valuable playoff experience, I feel like, but it's good. After 4-12, making the playoffs is kind of nice. LA versus Dallas.
Frank him, John. Do it to him. You know you wanna.
Okay, Tampa versus Arizona plays, right? Okay, Tampa beats them. Okay.
Does Green Bay beat either LA or Dallas? Doesn't matter who wins that game.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's the case. So I think it's gonna be Green Bay versus Tampa regardless. But who the heck wins LA versus Dallas? Because if this game was in LA, I would say LA, but it's in Dallas. Cowboys fans are nuts during the playoffs.
Cowboys fans are nuts all the time. But go on.
You're not wrong, but I'm going to go LA. But I'm going to say this game is nutty. Real nutty. And next year, Dallas is a freaking threat because Micah Parsons and Trevon Diggs are going to get very good offseason stuff.
Dallas is going to have a draft pick.
They're going to have defensive weapons. I think the only thing they need is... No, they don't even need a wide receiver. They got them. They might need to replace Gallup or something next year, something like that.
They need to go get an O-lineman. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, fix your O-line a little bit, and then go snag some more corners. And you guys are vibing.
Yeah, go snag like a D tackle or something. Go snag like a edge rusher.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, that team is terrible.
Yeah, go get a compliment
piece. They just got rid of Jalen Smith this year, so
yeah,
crazy. Yeah, so I would say Green Bay versus Tampa in the conference championship, and I actually have Green Bay winning this one.
I would have Green Bay winning too.
Yeah, Green Bay. Mine would be Green Bay versus Titans.
I have.
What did I predict in the preseason? I
think you said Bills Packers.
Was it Bills Packers? God darn it, Bills.
I said Chiefs Rams.
To be fair, the dream is still alive for that, but
I have Chiefs Rams, and I believe you had the Packers beating the Bills.
Davion scheduled preseason Packers versus Bills. I had Bills, Titans, Packers, Buccaneers. Buccaneers are the 1 seed. Packers are the 2 seed in mine. Chiefs were the 1 seed that had the bye in my scenario. I wonder, did I get these playoffs pretty close? Let's see. Chiefs. I didn't have the Cowboys making it, so no. I'm already going to say no. Actually, I have Washington Eagles make it.
I have all the teams. I just had... No, I had Seattle instead of Dallas, I think.
I have Washington, Seattle, Cleveland, and Chicago. Everybody else is on my list.
Yeah, I had Seattle doing it.
I want to tell you, I have the Chargers at 6, the Colts at 7, the Ravens at 3, and the Bills at 4. I'm a freaking wizard, Harry.
Bro, my AFC is all kinds of messed up. What happened here?
I'm saying the Browns.
Because I had the Colts. I had the Colts missing playoffs.
Mm-hmm. The Browns messed everything up.
It's the Browns that messed everything up. Because I had the Dolphins as the 7th seed. That's still a cusp team.
Yeah, I mean that's still possible.
Who made the playoffs that shouldn't have? The Patriots. Duh. The Patriots messed everything up.
We didn't expect them to be as good as they are, and they're playing really good football.
Yeah, so I had the Browns and the Dolphins both in the playoffs, but now that's instead Colts, Patriots.
Still going. I'm going Packers over Tennessee for the Super Bowl because I really think the Last Dance thing is hilarious, and I really love for them to win just for the culture, and both of them walk away like nothing happened. But I think that would be a fun Super Bowl.
Oh my god!
Green Bay versus Tennessee.
Chiefs Packers. Who wins?
If it's Chiefs Packers, dude, we're gonna have like a 42-39 Super Bowl. It's gonna be like 49-42 last second touchdown.
I think I'd go Green Bay. I think
that would be an air raid central. I'm telling you, Patty Mahomes throws for like 6 touchdowns. Rodgers throws for 7. Rodgers wins. That'd be elite. But yeah, I mean that's all I got. That's crazy. I'm telling you, playoffs are gonna be really fun. Playoffs are gonna be really fun. I'm very excited for how the last 5 weeks play out for this season.
I am too. This will be interesting.
So we'll just have to see. I'm praying the Eagles make the playoffs, and if they don't make the playoffs, worst case scenario, and the Dolphins don't make the playoffs, we have 2 like top 16 picks. Mm-hmm. Which we can package with our second round pick we got from the Colts because Carson Wentz played 75% of his football games for a higher first round if we want to. Mm-hmm. So, Eagles are in a good spot for their future because we've seen Jalen Hurts. Also, I'd like to talk about this. Can we talk about how Gardner Minshew popped off? Like,
Gardner
I know
Minshew
it's just the Jets.
Is an absolute animal. I loved him.
I don't think he's a better player than Jalen Hurts.
No, he's not. But it sure was.
It was
silly.
Fun. It was fun to watch. I know it's just the Jets, but it was very fun to watch. Like Dallas Goedert. He signed an extension, and he just said, you know what? Jets, hold my dick. Hold it. It's 2 touchdowns. He had like 120 yards or something like that. He was nuts. Yeah, that game was fun. And then I think the Broncos the week before that, not this week, but the week before last, was really fun too. Week 12? Mm-hmm. They popped off and beat the Chargers, didn't they?
They did.
That was crazy. Anyway, NFL has been fun. Very fun
this has been a very fun season, honestly.
Exactly. And it's so weird because every time we talk about something, we're like, yeah, this is going to happen. And
then
we come 2 weeks later and we're like, what the
And then it
happened?
Didn't.
What happened, guys? Like who would have thought Detroit 1-10 got the win?
1-10-1, excuse me.
They got the win, dude. They got the win. It couldn't have been a better win either. Like they won on a last second tutty. Mm-hmm. From Jared Goff of all people. I was screaming at the TV. I was like, we can't call you a liability anymore. Even though you only have 1 win this season.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for me. Anything else you want to add?
I got nothing.
I'm gonna leave you with this, guys. Basketball. You know, me and my love for basketball. I don't bring politics into this very often, but I want to say this. Okay, the Toronto government requires that anybody that comes into the country be vaccinated. Toronto Canadian government, but Toronto's the only Canadian team in the NBA. They require all people that come into the city vaccinated. So starting January 15th, all athletes have to be vaccinated. Now in the NBA, there's been a big, obviously, controversy with vaccinations. Like Kyrie Irving, people like that have not gotten fully vaccinated, and they aren't allowed to play in big cities like LA. They're not allowed to play in California or New York. So like Kyrie plays for the Brooklyn Nets. He can't play in any home games. He only can play on road games that aren't in California or against the Knicks. So it's like he's not playing. There's other players that were like that, and then they got vaccinated. I think Andrew Wiggins on the Warriors was like that. Mm-hmm. Now people are complaining. Not players, funny enough, people. So how do you? What's your take on that? I wanted to know. Side note, I also like that. Kyrie Irving's a bitch. This has nothing to do. Kyrie Irving, in the last last 3 seasons, it's been one thing after another for him to complain about. Like, he sat out for the bubble because he didn't want to play in the bubble because he's like, oh, well, things are more bigger than basketball. Then last season he sat out because, oh, things are more, because of the BLM stuff. Oh, things are more important than basketball. And then he got hurt when he was actually starting to play. And then the year before that, he was like, oh, I don't want to play on the Celtics no more. I go Nets. I play. I got hurt. Oh, Celtics. Oh, this is Jason Tatum team. I don't want to play. I want to play on my team, not Jason Tatum team. So he sat out. And then freaking LeBron, he complained about, he won a championship and was like, oh, I don't want to be under LeBron's shadow no more. I go to my own team and got hurt. Like, sorry. Kyrie, every time he does something, he just doesn't want to play basketball. I swear he just doesn't want to play basketball. I don't know why people pay him. He just does not want to play. People say LeBron's problematic. Kyrie Irving's problematic. And the only reason is because he sides with so many extra people. It's crazy. He's ridiculous. He does a lot of good, though. He does a lot of charity work. But basketball ain't it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, vaccination status, Canadian. How do you feel? Makes sense, right?
I mean, wasn't there a whole thing where, like, Toronto was playing in Tampa?
That was last year. They played the entire season in Tampa last year. They went back this year because of all the vaccination guidelines.
Gotcha. I mean,
and Toronto wasn't requiring athletes or like people, like persons of interest or whatever, like to be fully vaccinated to come in. It just had to be regular tourists. Now, starting January 15th, because of like certain spikes and stuff, they were like, nah, everybody got to be vaccinated. No questions asked.
I mean, I think if there's certain health risks, I think teams just have to deal with the fact that not everybody's going to be available. Like,
and there are teams that have 100% vaccination status. I'm pretty sure the Mavs are pretty good. I think like one person's not vaccinated, but it's not like it's like Luka or something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, here's one thing that I'll cite, and this is a bad analogy just because this is a global pandemic, you know,
right,
versus like an actual like born health condition. But do you remember Ryan Clark, who used to play for the Steelers?
Yes.
He has a blood condition.
Right.
Where he couldn't be at a certain elevation. So whenever the Steelers had to go play in Denver, he was not medically allowed to play.
Right.
I'm kind of getting a similar-ish vibe here, but obviously this is a little bit different than that.
Obviously. It's slightly different because anybody can catch that. Not everybody has that, right? It's one player as opposed to a bunch of potential players.
But the Steelers always knew that was a happen. They would see Denver on their schedule. They're like, okay, we have to prep for Ryan Clark not being available for this game.
Right.
I think NBA teams at this point have to start looking for, okay, we have Toronto. We're going to Toronto. I have to plan like this player, this player, and not being available for this game.
Right. Unless they get vaccinated within the next like certain amount of time. What's going to happen? And I think that's perfect. Mm-hmm. I think it becomes a situation where you have to think more than just basketball. Like you have to think of how you're going to play the game and screw like all the politics behind it, right? Like how are you going to play these games? What's your game plan? Do you have to call people up from the G League to play this week? Mm-hmm. What are we doing? That makes sense. I like that take. I think I like that. I know I know the analogy is not like obviously the best, but in comparison, it makes perfect sense because you need to have players available to play. Like Kyrie Irving hasn't played all year. The Nets are the 1 seed. They're fine because James Harden and Kevin Durant are insane. So, but yeah, that's just. I thought that was interesting. I thought that was worth noting. You know, this is a sports podcast, and I like to hear your opinions on things.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So
looking up, Ryan Clark has sickle cell disease.
You know who had sickle cell, or I don't know if it was sickle cell, but Chris Bosh was forced to retire because of blood clots.
Mm-hmm.
So he can't play in the NBA anymore. And then so was LaMarcus Aldridge was going to retire last year because do the same thing. He worked out and did a bunch of crazy stuff this offseason. He got medically cleared to come back, and he's currently playing for the Nets.
Really?
So very happy because I love LaMarcus Aldridge. Hate that he's on the Nets, but I love him.
Of course, they're always on. They're when in doubt, just like, oh, cool, a cool NFL player come back, and it's always just on the worst team you want to see. Cite Josh Gordon.
It's just funny. It's like the Nets are kind of like the Buccaneers or the Rams right now. The Rams are a prime example. Someone gets cut. Let's go to the Nets, guys. Let's go to the Lakers, guys. Never fails.
Yeah.
Never fails. Freaking. It's the super.
What's up with the Lakers? Don't they like suck?
LeBron's been weirdly. It's been weird. I'm telling you. So this is what happens. The Lakers are fun. LeBron always has a rough start at the beginning of years. Russell Westbrook does the same thing. Then they're gonna start winning games, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, they're good. Oh, they're good. Oh, they're good." And then they're gonna be like a 6 seed because that's their. I think
that's kind of what I'm getting to. Team. Because like I listen to sports people in general who talk about basketball, and basically the idea is just like, yeah, the Lakers will come back from this, but they're not as good as Phoenix.
No, Phoenix is insane right now. Phoenix, you know who I think really needs to reevaluate, and I'm telling everyone that they miss Carmelo Anthony much more than people expected them to, was the Portland Trailblazers.
Mm-hmm. I think
Portland Trailblazers aren't playing well. CJ McCollum's not getting that scoring. I think they really want to trade for Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons doesn't want to play either right now. But if the Sixers get their hands on CJ McCollum, then you might as well call it a wrap in the East. That team is disgusting.
Yeah, the Sixers are good, and then obviously the Nets and Bucks, I imagine, are still threats.
Bucks are weird. The Bucks are weird right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're good, but they're not last year good.
Yeah.
They're weird. They're weird.
Because I know kind of like the West right now, my understanding of it is it's like Phoenix, and then there's a couple of like good teams.
And then
like,
everybody else.
Like I imagine like probably the Nuggets are no pushover. Probably the Warriors
the Mavs
are no pushover.
The 6th seed right now. The Warriors are the 2 seed. The Warriors just beat the Suns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Warriors just beat the... Here, I'll tell you what the NBA standings look like right now.
Hit me with some knowledge. I know all 30. I know all 30 NBA teams. I know, and I can probably name one player on every team.
Because the Mavs are currently...
Provided Jimmy Butler is still on the Timberwolves. Is that...
No, he's on the Heat.
I might not be able to name
He's been on the Heat for like 3 years.
I might not be able to name a player on the Timberwolves. That might
really?
Be
Dude,
what about... No, there's somebody.
I think you can.
Isn't Cat on the
yes.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say.
I was going to say, that's the only player you have to know. The Bulls are really good this year.
Who have... Jimmy Butler... No. He's on fucking...
he's on the Heat.
Said that. Who was on... He was on the Bulls at one point, right? I'm not crazy?
It's where he started his career. He was on the Bulls with Derrick Rose.
That's what I'm thinking of. Okay, who's on the Bulls?
Because he went Bulls, Timberwolves...
Because...
Sixers, Heat.
Is it JaVale McGee who's on the Bulls?
JaVale McGee's actually on the Nuggets right now. No, the Suns. JaVale McGee's on the Suns.
Of course he is. He finds his way into those good teams.
The Bulls...
You know what I was thinking of last year? He was on the Cavs, wasn't he?
Is he on the Cavs now? Where the fuck is JaVale McGee?
Recently, he was on the Cavs. That's what I'm thinking of.
He's on the Suns right now. He was on the Cavs. You're right. Okay. I was like, he was on the Cavs too. Where is he right now? He's in Phoenix. Cavs, surprisingly enough, are the 9th seed right now.
Wait, where is Blake Griffin with the Pistons?
He's with the Nets. He left last year. Yeah.
He was on the Pistons?
He was.
Okay. I probably wouldn't be able to tell you somebody on the Pistons.
Let's see if I could do it. I'm not going to even look at the players. Brooklyn Nets, that's easy. KD,
sure.
James Harden.
Give me one player.
Bulls, I can give you like 75. Actually, I went to high school with someone who plays on the Bulls. His name's Troy Brown Jr. Milwaukee Bucks, I mean...
DeMar DeRozan's on the Bulls, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Cool.
He signed with them this offseason.
I definitely didn't just Google that.
That's fine. They have DeBallsack. DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, and Zach LaVine. Zach.
Hell yeah.
And then they got Vucevic. And he's really good. But yeah, Milwaukee, Miami, Washington's the 5 seed right now. That's actually quite surprising.
The Wizards?
Yeah, they're pretty good. Bradley Beal's apparently really good right now. Boston is the 6th seed.
Jason Tatum.
Yes. Sixers are the 7th seed.
That's easy.
Hornets are at the 8th seed, and the Hornets are playing really well.
Cody Martin.
Are you sure it's not the other one?
Caleb Martin's on the Heat.
There you go. I was like, one of them got cut.
You
can't name a player on the Heat. There you go.
There you go, yeah. Yeah, Cody Martin's
Cleveland
on the Hornets.
is the 9, and the Hawks are at 10. I think what's going to change is I think the Cavs are going to drop out. I think the Cavs are going to drop out, and the Knicks are going to pop up. But the rest of these seem pretty much what I feel like are going to be the playoff teams and the play-in teams for the rest of the year. Pistons still suck. Magic still suck. What's done's done. The Lakers are the Lakers are the 7th seed right now. The Grizzlies are a threat to society right now. They're the 4 seed. The Jazz are solid. The Warriors and the Suns are really good, and they're the 1 and 2 seed, and they're tied. So it's like
who's the Mavericks guy on the Hawks? This is bugging me. He looks like he's 14.
Trae Young?
That's the one.
Yeah, he's like balding at the age of 12.
Yeah.
Mavericks are about to lose to the Nets, man. We have been struggling all year. But the Pelicans suck. The Thunder suck. The Rockets suck. The Spurs suck because they lost DeRozan. The Kings are weird, and the Trailblazers are weird. The Timberwolves are solid. They have a really good team. They just never... They don't win games. I don't know what's up with them. Because they have D'Angelo Russell, who's really good. Cat, who's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's really it. That's all they have. They probably have other players. Hold on. Minnesota Timberwolves.
Jeez, the Pistons are 4-19.
Yeah, they suck. Oh, Claxton missed. D'Lo. Oh, Anthony Edwards is really good. They have Pat Bev. I don't like Pat Bev, but I recognize Pat Bev's okay. Jaden McDaniels, Malik Beasley. Yeah, this team is solid. Josh Okogie, he's solid. This team's okay. Jake Layman? He's from Maryland. He's cool. Yeah, this team's fun. They just suck. They always suck. I don't know what it is. Oh, my gosh. Dude missed 2 free throws. Oh, let the Mavericks have a chance to tie the game.
We got it. We got to do a podcast. Maybe we'll do this as like an off-season special.
The basketball podcast? The playoff prediction podcast?
No. Well, that's still you and Patty thing. But you got to. We're going to come up with like some kind of like trivia game where you quiz me on basketball stuff and I'm going to be like, who?
And then you're going to quiz me on football stuff and I'm like, who?
Exactly. I'm going to tell you about like...
Who was the quarterback for the 1922?
The 1922 Canton
Houston
Triangles.
Oilers.
The Canton Triangles.
Who?
Exactly. I don't think it was the Canton Triangle.
Was it Bob McAdoo? Fun fact, Bob McAdoo played in the NBA.
The Dayton Triangles, that's who it is. I'm like, I knew there was a triangle game. There was
his name game. Bob?
Who was on the Dayton Triangles? They won the 1918 championship. The only Hall of Famer from the Dayton Triangles is a dude named Greasy Neal.
What a name, dude. Anyway. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up. It's been real, guys.
Yeah, we've been kind of just BSing for like 15 minutes.
I mean, we had, an extra hour to kill, you know what I mean?
That's true.
An extra 15 minutes. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Appreciate all of you guys. If you like it, if you enjoy this, of course, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. We appreciate everything and anything. And any closing remarks from my guy over there?
Dude, I got nothing.
It's not a goat this week, guys. It's a man.
Broncos play the Lions this week, so please don't lose.
Hey, we beat them 44-6. Anything's possible. You guys.
Yeah, and then they beat the Vikings. We went through the parity thing.
Well, the Vikings suck, so that's besides the point.
Yeah, but the Vikings beat. But the Vikings beat the Seahawks. Okay.
Yeah, but the Seahawks are worse than the Vikings.
And then we're like 10 teams away from the Broncos. We saw the parity thing. The Seahawks beat the Colts. The Colts beat the Dolphins. Dolphins beat the Patriots. Patriots beat the Chargers. Chargers beat the Steelers. Steelers beat the Bears. Bears beat the Bengals. Bengals beat the Raiders. The Raiders beat the Ravens. And guess who they beat?
Oh, my God. Oh, Timmy missed a 3. Luka missed 2 threes. I hate my life. I hate this team.
I'm going to let you go finish that game, my friend.
It's over. Game's over.
Never mind.
Missed 3 threes at the end of the game. Tie the game. Oh, my gosh. They were... Oh. I'm out. I love you guys. Bye. I hate everything.